Hello class, welcome to Simplified Acquisition Procedures. We will discuss why we use simplified acquisition procedures and the methods available. Why use simplified acquisition procedures? Simply put, using the SAP approach is preferred whenever a requirement is valued below the simplified acquisition threshold, SAT, unless the need must be fulfilled from FAR Part 8 required source of supply or there is a suitable existing contract vehicle. The primarily generally available methods and procedures identified as SAP methods and procedures are government-wide commercial purchase card to make purchases below the micro-purchase threshold or payment vehicle per FAR 13.301, purchase orders, BPAs established with federal supply schedule contractors, streamlined flexible procedures for publicizing and posting requirements, streamlined procedures for solicitation, competition, and documentation of procurement actions. SAP also allows the use of oral solicitations under certain conditions under the SAT, and when appropriate, contracting officers are directed by FAR 13.106(1)(c) to use oral solicitations to the maximum extent practicable. Consistent with FAR 13.106 and 5.101, contracting officers have the flexibility to opt for providing a local or electronic display or government point of entry notice and still conduct oral solicitations up to the SAT, or oral solicitations may be issued without display or synopsis. FAR 13.003 prescribes that unless certain conditions exist, the contracting officer must use simplified acquisition procedures to the maximum extent practicable. However, the policy to use SAP to the maximum extent practicable does not apply if the requirement for supplies or services can be satisfied by a mandatory source, FAR 8.002, or other mandatory source, FAR 8.003, existing IDIQ contracts or other established contracts. How important is the estimated value of the requirement? Any requirement for which the award value would exceed these thresholds cannot be made using a SAP process or SAP methods, even if the estimated value was below the thresholds. If after pursuing the SAP approach, such as a purchase order, the award value would exceed the applicable threshold, the award cannot be made and the acquisition must be redone following an alternative process. This ends the presentation on simplified acquisition procedures.